2014 vehicle lease program cost not to exceed $211,600. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Good having, Cheryl. That takes us to the end of new business items. Council updates. Do we have any updates from staff or council members? Jeff, anything?
No, sir, other than perhaps just to highlight the baseball tournament over the weekend. Started off a little bit damp from the rain we had just leading up to it, but it was a success. Saw a lot of uniforms here tonight.
What day is the Arbor Day, Earth Day cleanup?
Is the, if I remember correctly, the April 26th, Gardner Greenway and Wynwood Park.
Everybody come out and get dirty and clean up the greenway. Mike, anything?
I do not have any updates.
Okay. Ryan?
Just real quickly, an update on 183rd Street and center the signalization. We will be opening bids on May 7th for that project with an expected recommendation to council on May 19th. Staff did order the poles previously, because they are long lead items, and so we expect those delivered about the same time. We do anticipate construction startup around June 1st. Other projects center in main intersection improvements, we are scheduled to open May 15th.
Very good. Thanks, Brian. Chief, anything?
Just for Councilman Freeman, I did follow up on the Securitas, and we will provide you the answer tomorrow morning, written email.
Excellent. Thank you, Chief. Laura?
I just one.
Okay. Cheryl?
Absolutely. Two things. I'd like to talk about the faith-based meeting that took place this past Thursday. We had a very good work session. We had about almost 3 hours of time from almost all the churches in the city were represented. We talked about the 4 themes that the council adopted and the initiatives that have been taking place under those themes. The ministers were very interested in getting involved in 2 areas to kind of help, and that involves quality of life with programs for youth, as well as they have interest in economic development, trying to look at more non-residential development. So that was a very good session that we had on Thursday. The other thing, you probably have received by now copies of the Kansas Government Journal. Would like to give kudos to our finance director for taking the time to write this, but for the first time, it gives us an opportunity to highlight something that we recently implemented, which is our priority-based budgeting best practice nationally. That is the way to do budgeting. And so it's a great opportunity for the city of Gardner to have some good press, not just locally, but across the state. And we've received some wonderful notes and calls and emails from throughout the area about this article.
Everybody had a chance to see that? Not only is it well-written, Laura, very well-written, but there's a very fancy-looking photo of her in there, too. So it looks very nice. Cheryl, you have anything else?
That's it.
Council have anything for staff?
We talked about the Jacobs property, you know, the area, the entrance to the, between the Walgreens and Quick Trip. At one time, that was added as a convenience really to the retailers there while Moonlight was being repaired. And I know that it's, you know, it gets a lot of traffic and it seems like it's always in need of repair, but I just want to make sure that, did they resume taking over the maintenance, or is that, I mean, is that considered a city street now? Because it was only a sort of a temporary thing.
No.
It's not City Street.
No,
What's that?
it's not a city street.
So we're not repairing it then?
No.
You mean the off of Main Street between Walgreens and Quick Trip?
Right, all the way to the.
All the way to Lincoln.
Yeah, to the.
From Main Street to Lincoln line.
Yep.
That's.
We were, as part of an agreement.
Well, no,
And that was in finishing up the.
Moonlight Road.
We,
Right.
yeah, we paved it originally as part of a
Yeah,
special,
Moonlight Road.
special deal, I guess.
Right.
But I don't know that we're supposed to maintain it.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people use it as a through street, and it's now become kind of a
But we don't own that, though, I mean.
thoroughfare.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
I can try to respond to that. If it's private property, it's subject to the property maintenance code, and there are provisions in there for keeping your parking lots paved and your access ways paved. I know we have received complaints about a number of properties around the city. That property might be one of those, I'm not sure. But I know that we have spoken with one of the property owners in that area who is repairing their parking lot. I do not know if it is planned to include specifically what you're talking about, but we can follow up and make sure it is.
I just don't want city money being spent on somebody else's property, I guess.
Yeah. I don't see that happen, but yeah, following up on that from a codes perspective is probably a really good idea. You have something else?
Yeah, and then also on the, I was looking at the, well, I guess recording, it wasn't a video of the electric utility board, electric advisory board. And at one time I mentioned that there was, the phrase, no handout in the agenda. Well, that phrase has been removed, but there still isn't any agenda items like we received here. So I think it'd be good if we could know what, because I noticed that they were discussing several things that, especially since there's no video, there was no way that anybody listening to that could really know what they're talking about.
Okay.
If I could.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The electric director has put in papers to retire. He's going to retire before the next meeting takes place. There are efforts underway to get a replacement, even if it's interim, that we're confident we're going to be very happy with. But I think that if we make it a priority with the replacement, that we want to have public to have the same kind of access to the documents, they can make that happen. But that's, well.
So when did he retire, when did he put in his paperwork to retire? Is that new, or is that?
Yes, it's effective, May 1st.
And it was late in March, I believe. It was after the March meeting, before the April. If you listened to the April meeting, you probably heard that he was.
I didn't listen to that one, but,
Okay.
well, wait a minute, I mean, I listened to this last one, you mean?
Yeah, the April meeting.
But it happened in, when, March
In
what?
March, late March.
So he's on for another, or he's basically has a 30-day.
He's, yeah, a little bit less than a month.
Is there a provision, I know in a lot of companies, a lot of times when somebody's wants to leave their position, not necessarily in this case, but the supervisor has the ability to pay them for that time and then, get them out of the works, so in the event that there was a happy departure, that they wouldn't
I don't necessarily.
poison the well for others. Is that-
Larry, I don't think that this is
Well, I'm not saying that this is, I'm just saying, do we have the ability to do that ever?
Well, certainly we do, but Ryan
Well,
is
The,
leaning in.
Do we?
the way the current ordinance is written, it would need to come to council for personnel action like that.
And I'll be honest, I think that there's some institutional knowledge that needs to be transferred. I don't think that it would be wise to remove the electric director or have them go off into, and under a buyout when we don't have any transition plan right now in place.
Again, it doesn't really apply to this, it just.
I
this instance-
understand that.
So, but I guess I am concerned that sometimes there are gonna be some departures, from disgruntled employees, and how do we handle that? Because if we have to wait for 2 weeks to get it on an agenda, they can do some real damage if they're still there.
Maybe that's something Mary could address at an upcoming
Okay.
meeting.
That'd be-
I mean, I think
I will
that-
follow up
yeah, I think it
for
needs
a
an
future
ordinance.
meeting.